Hi, this is Carrie, aka Flea, with an update on Hope. She is doing really good with her training, and she's having a bit of the terrible twos. So come becomes run away, and leave it becomes chase me. But other than that, she will leave it, and leave it is becoming good for everything. She did, however, this week jump up on my chair, and at first it was just jump up on my chair at the dining room table. And then the kids left some food on the table, and it was, ooh, there's food, I'm gonna try it. So she had some chili this week. I was leave it off while I was running towards her trying to get her down, and she did get down and leave it on her own. She looked at me like, what? What did I do? So I have to keep a very close eye on her to get her to not get up on my chair and explore, because she gets, we had a scare this week where she started throwing up. It was really funny because the vet called to remind me of her appointment the next day. And so I told her, it's really funny you called because she's throwing up. How many times? Twice so far. Well, if she throws up 3 more times, bring her in. She threw up exactly 3 more times. So I called them back, and the doctor answered the phone, and he said, bring her in right away. So we did, and I explained to him, I won't describe it to you, what was going on, and so he did fluids, subcutaneous fluids, which made her look, she had a hump on her little shoulder, and it was so sad looking. She was so lethargic that we separated her and Pickles, and she instantly fell asleep. She took the medicine, the anti-nausea, and they checked her stomach and made sure that she wasn't, nothing hard, and she wasn't protecting her stomach, so nothing was hurting her. So they figure she must have gotten into the garbage, which she's tall enough to do now when she stands on her hind legs. So we've got to get a garbage with a lid now. And that was our adventure. She's doing fine, but she's still taking some meds to kind of soothe her stomach. She's almost done with them, but she gets them in a peanut butter little cup that I've stuffed it into and hand it to her, and she just loves them. And she tried to get up on the table to get them this morning, and it was like, no. So we're having to be more stern, learn what we can and cannot do. She's exploring her world. She's like a toddler right now, getting into everything. We visited, what's it called? Tractor Supply, because I heard their hooves were cheaper than at Pet Supply, or the pet store that we go to, and they were bigger, and apparently they smell better because she absolutely loves them. I gave her one, and I gave one to Pickles, and they are just chowing down on them. She wouldn't sleep for me after 4 o'clock this morning, so I gave her a cow hoof, and she chewed on that cow hoof until it was time for me to get up. So like 3 hours. And there she goes. Pickles has something and she doesn't. She wants what he has. We're having to work on that a lot. But as far as training, Hope, quiet. Come. Hold on a sec. She found a hoof, so she's happy now. But her and Pickles are getting along great. They chase, and he's a little upset because he doesn't have anywhere to get away from her anymore except for at night, because she can get up on the couches and on the bed, no problem. And it was like once she figured out, oh, I can do this, it became a game. I can do this. As far as her training goes, she is doing fantastic. I need to get the family involved, especially my husband, because, you know, that's who's going to take care of her if I end up in the hospital and I can't have her. That's who's going to, if something happens to me, she's going to go to them and nudge them and try to get them to come to me. It's very important that they know how to take care of her. I was out with, after having a panic attack and had a migraine, I was out for a couple hours needing sleep, and she was a tiny terror for them because they didn't know the commands, and she hadn't worked with them, so she thought she could just run all over them and do whatever she wanted. So she was a tiny terror and really got into some trouble. And so we have to fix that and start training with them at least for 5 minutes every day. So I'm hoping today can start that. Just, 5 minutes a day. This is what we do. Especially my husband, because nudge isn't for her to nudge me and get my attention. Although that probably will work, because if I'm starting to have a panic attack or something, she can nudge me and let me know that something's going on, if I don't catch it. But nudge is for going to other people and nudging them and getting their attention to bring them to me if I'm somehow incapacitated. So we have to practice nudge with my husband and then him coming over to me. And eventually she'll learn that she's supposed to bring him to me. And I forget the exact way that we're supposed to do it. I'm going to see the trainer on Tuesday, so we're going to start it then. And Tuesday starts her going, let's see the date. Tuesday, August 28th, starts her going out into public. She will be going to Tractor Supply with the trainer. I won't be going because that'll be a bit much of a stressor on her. Plus, she's a little bit skittish of the outside world. The backyard, which is enclosed and has a fence, is fine. The front yard, a really, really, really loud car went by when we were out there and she was peeing, and she hates the front yard now, except at night. At night, she will go and wander and meander and maybe even take a walk. But that's hard on me to get up and take a walk in the middle of the night. So, without me going out into public and learning public etiquette, and then I'll be brought in and trained how to be with her, because she'll already know what to do and she can teach me. So I kind of like this idea. I think it's a good way to do the training, especially since she's afraid of the outside. I'm thinking I'm going to start taking her to the park. There's a place in the park that has just a wooded area and benches and places for picnics that aren't that many people. And I think, if it's okay with the trainer, I'm going to start taking her there, and we're just going to explore. We're not going to try and go for a jog. We're going to just meander and smell, and there's the smell of cows from a nearby farm. You can hear the cows. I think it would be really good for her. I'll update on that next week whether or not we went. As far as the kennel goes, we actually had to start kennel training her at night because I got so tired that I ran off the road. I'm okay, the car's okay, the kids are okay, but I didn't realize I was that tired until it happened. And so we started kennel training her at night, and she whines and whimpers for about 10-15 minutes and barks, and then she's okay. And then she'll occasionally whine and whimper, but it's not so loud that it wakes everybody up. She got me up at 4 this morning, and she was just so awake, and I was afraid that she would wake everybody up, that I didn't put her back in the kennel. And everyone was like, "Why didn't you put her back in the kennel?" So next time, if she wakes me up that early, I'll put her back in the kennel, except during weekdays, because I wake up at 4:45 during the weekdays. So I don't see any sense in putting her up for 45 minutes. I can sleep on the couch for 45 minutes and just attach her to me by the leash and give her a rawhide, not a rawhide, we don't do rawhide, pig's ear, and let her chow down on that while I'm a snooze. So the kids have been helping with taking her outside. My knee is messed up and I need to get shots in it, but the insurance, you know how that is. So Laurel has mainly been taking out the dogs, both of them at the same time. The puppy Hope on the leash and Pickles just roaming, and they do fantastic. She has yet to poop outside. She poops inside, but she will go number 1 outside. So I'm thinking we're gonna start taking her poop outside so she can smell her poop outside, so she knows that it's okay to poop out there. I'm gonna check it with the trainer and see if she thinks that'll work, but I think that's what we're gonna do. She still has accidents inside, but most of them are on the pee pads. She's very good about that, and she gets the zoomies and zooms around, so I really need to be able to start taking her on walks at the park, at home. I really need to get her adjusted to outside because she has so much energy. So today's the 28th, so on the 22nd of August was when she was throwing up. Her appointment was supposed to be on the 23rd, but we moved it back to the 24th. So on the 24th, she got her parvo booster, she got a dewormer, and she got kennel cough. The kennel cough shot. It's kind of like a flu shot. It goes down her nose. Ugh. And she did really good. I was really impressed, especially after having gone through the subcutaneous fluids and throwing up and all that stuff. She did great. So we don't go back for another 3 weeks to get her 4th parvo booster and the rest of her puppy visit done. And then it won't be until 6 months until they see her again, and they're wanting to spay her then, but it's in my contract that she doesn't get spayed until 18 months, so we're gonna wait until then. And they explained to me why, and I was like, that makes so much sense. Why would you spay them so early? Pet owners that don't pay attention to their animals and then end up with unwanted puppies. But I'm not going to let her out of my sight when she's her time of year, so it's not going to have an unwanted litter of puppies. No way. So, with that, I'm going to say thank you for joining us on our journey. Thank you for tuning in and listening to Hope's Update, and have a blessed day.